Good day. Welcome to another episode of Inside Crypto, where from a hedge fund's perspective, I'll show you how we look at this. From the point of view of a hedge fund on the crypto situation, very often I've noticed that I have a similar view as very often hedge funds. So I decided to share this with you, and I saw that it was going quite well, although it's also falling apart here. I admit my mistake because I didn't expect this downturn to be so deep. I thought that the previous downturn was already sufficient, and I thought that the market would indeed. Crypto, it became a bit more decoupled from the indices, and the sell-off in the indices pushed cryptocurrencies even lower. But it seems to me, however, that firstly, the correlation returned where crypto leads the indices, and it was evident that crypto sold off so strongly and quickly, and shortly after, only then, was there an equally strong sell-off in the indices. This is one observation. So I would watch this and the fact that now crypto is rebounding and no longer wants to go down to new lows while the indices still do. For me, this is rather a signal that crypto is leading. The indices should soon join crypto, not the other way around. And secondly, there's another thesis, perhaps. This Bitcoin has already decoupled from the indices, and only now are the markets discovering that indeed crypto is living its own life, and this is my preferred theory. I would stick to what I said earlier. When the sell-off happened, those who were still living by the old patterns sold off their crypto, and in my opinion, they made a mistake. That was the moment to buy. Whether I'm right, we'll see. Let's look at Bitcoin. At what point it's worth jumping in? I would still hold on, insist on long positions. Now look here, how beautifully it looks at almost 80, around $85,000. See what a beautiful accumulation there is. Stop losses to be cleared, which stick out so much above the liquidity level at these points. I always explain to you that it doesn't matter if we have large liquidations when we have so much liquidity with people eager to take long positions at these levels, but here it's different. So here hedge funds might be tempted to manipulate in a way that would clear those stop losses. And honestly, I would enter long positions here, and I would be surprised if hedge funds didn't try, because along the way there's low liquidity. It's quite easy to reach here. High volatility recently, also high liquidity recently. This is actually, in a very liquid market, it's much harder to perform such manipulations. The market is more stable. It's harder to move it. So this might be discouraging. So the analysis related to clearing stop losses might be slightly disrupted for a while. But I think the temptation here is too great. In the other direction, it doesn't look as good, but that 1894, well, it's more spread out. Simply here, it's a bit more difficult, but I would definitely hunt for long positions, especially on Bitcoin. But Ethereum has also been significantly cleared. As I have told you many times, Ethereum is simply weak. It's just very weak fundamentally. I compared it to silver, and I still dress in it, although there has been a major sell-off here. Yes, these are significant declines. Look at Bitcoin, Sakakam. It is still far from the levels of August, which are between 50 and 60,000. And here, August, September, we are already below. So this is a big sell-off, a big correction. Well, I kind of stopped criticizing Ethereum from this point on, because it's not necessarily that the relationship between Bitcoin and Ethereum has reached those equilibrium levels. In my opinion, where was it before? Well, it just looked like Ethereum was overvalued. Now, it seems to me that it doesn't necessarily have to be that way anymore. And here is a huge scope for manipulation. Look, if it were 2100 or around 2150, 2100, just beautiful for collecting liquidations. Actually, the liquidity isn't that high at these levels. No, so these are beautiful levels. And upwards at 232, also nice levels for taking short positions, or even 2340, well, much more interesting here than on Bitcoin. And it's hard for me to imagine that the whales wouldn't be tempted by at least these liquidations, or yes, entering long positions around 2100 seems very reasonable to me, or short positions at 2340 or 2300. Well, 2340 also seems like a level where there's a temptation, a big temptation for liquidation. And it will rather be a no-brainer that we will profit from this, or even more short-term, 2030, 2250, it's also reasonable to set up short positions there. And that's all for today's episode. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next week.